morning, friends, and welcome to Wellness in the Word. I just wanted to take a minute and show you something that I absolutely love. This is a spiral bound New Testament ESV journaling Bible. Now, you know that I love to do Bible marking. I love to write notes directly into God's Word next to the verses that I am studying, because then whenever I come back to that verse at a later time, I have all those notes right there, handy where they need to be, instead of in some notebook that's on some shelf that who knows where that note is and on what page I wrote that on. So notebooks are kind of like a thorn in the flesh to me, but writing actual notes into my Bible, that's what I really love to do. I saw these advertised on Amazon, and I wasn't really sure how I would like this. Spiral bound, I liked the idea of how they would lay flat, but I wasn't real sure about the quality of the cover and if it would feel sturdy and if I would really be in favor of this spiral bound version of the journaling Bible. So I decided to order one and give it a go and see if it was what it was cracked up to be. And I have to tell you, I absolutely love these. And I love them so much that I ordered some for my sons-in-laws for Christmas gifts. These are so nice. And I just want to do a quick review of this and tell you about the features that I love about these journaling Bibles. One, I'm absolutely in love with the size of this. There is so much room for taking notes. Look at all this space here. I'm not sure the exact measurements on this. I guess I should have looked about that before I did this video, but I'm going to say it's probably 8.5 by 11. It's like a standard size of paper. So you can see there's a lot of room in the margin for note taking, but there's also pretty good space between each of these lines. So if you had one of my favorite micron pens that has that little tiny nib like the 005 Pigma micron, then you would probably actually be able to write in between the lines if you wanted to circle some things or take notes and make little tiny notes beneath the lines. The spiral feature enables the book to open completely flat. Unlike a traditionally bound book where you kind of have to fight the binding to get it to lay open. So I'm in love with that feature. I just think that is something that is super. The paper quality is good. It's not quite as thick as maybe what the individual ESV journaling Bibles that I like to use have, but it is definitely thicker than a standard Bible paper. The biggest thing I was unsure of about these was the quality of the cover. I wasn't sure if it was going to be kind of flimsy or what, but it's actually pretty hard and feels pretty durable. So I have to say, I'm giving these an A+. I love the size, I love the quality, and even though I have a lot of Bibles, I'm almost tempted. Now, this particular one is the complete New Testament, but the Old Testament ones are broken down into individual groups. The Old Testament books are broken down by the Pentateuch, historical books, poetry, and prophets. So if you were like me and you were kind of wondering about these and if they were a good quality and something that you should consider buying, well, now you know. These are great, and I would definitely encourage you to take the plunge and order these. If you'd like to check these out, you can click the link provided in the description. I also want to take a minute and remind you of something that I'm starting in the new year. In a previous video, I talked about Bible verse mapping and my goal to map 52 verses in the coming year. And I really want to encourage you to join me in that goal. If you missed that video, you can click the video at the end of this one to go back and watch where I talk about Bible verse mapping. In that previous video, I reviewed several different Bible verse mapping journals. Bible verse mapping is a wonderful way to study and pick apart a passage so that you can really understand and appreciate all the things that God is saying. This particular journal happens to be my favorite. I love how this journal is laid out. This journal includes everything you need to pick apart a passage and to fully appreciate every detail that's included in it. She provides space for context details, for commentary notes, and for cross-references. This is a great way to grow in God's Word. One thing I absolutely love about this particular Bible verse mapping journal is that she provides some example pages. So she takes her own template and she chooses a verse and she breaks it down and maps it out just like you would any verse that you're studying. This to me is so good and valuable because if this is something you've never done before, you may be scratching your head about what are all these things for? What am I supposed to write in these spaces? Another aspect I really like about this book is she includes a section for prayer. This is valuable to me because I believe that we should read God's Word and think about things that we can draw from it and include in our own prayers. So I like having that section for that. She also includes a section for reflection and application. This is the place where you can write down your takeaways. What does this verse mean to me? What does this have to do with my life? How does this Bible verse make my life better? How does it equip me to live today? And my absolute favorite thing about this verse mapping journal is her keyword mapping page. This is structured exactly for me. It was literally like she created this for me. I love to take my verses and circle things and draw lines to my margin. You know how I do this. And this is really structured with that format in mind. There's a section in the middle where you write your verse, and then there's these little squares around that central section where you can literally draw lines from something and make a little text note. And I absolutely love the fact that it's a linen hardcover book and the quality of it is so great. And if you're wondering, it does come in other colors besides pink. It actually comes in some gender neutral colors like gray and blue. So this is not just a Bible verse mapping journal for women. If you've never done Bible verse mapping before, don't worry. We're going to do a few passages together so that you can get the feel of how to go about this for your personal studies. I hope that you'll join me in this goal, and I look forward in growing in God's Word together in 2025. If you want to learn more about Bible verse mapping and these journals and the things that are included in them and some different options for journals that will match your budget, be sure to watch this video. Until next time, stay well, stay blessed.